This story comes to us live from SK Pop. This is, I guess, some type of blog, pop blog or whatever. But the story comes from us today from New London, Connecticut. I guess in New London they have something called a Sailfest. I've never heard of it, but then again, I'm not from Connecticut or never really been there, so I wouldn't have heard of this before. This story comes to us. It's about a man who decided to pay some young ladies at this particular festival a compliment, and I guess they didn't reciprocate his feeling of, maybe wanting, I don't know what he wanted from them, but I guess he wanted them to respond in like kind, and they did not respond the way he wanted them to. So this man decided to verbally start berating them and abusing them. And one of the young ladies picked up her phone and started recording this activity. I don't know what got into this man. I don't know what's happening with people nowadays, but just because you give someone a compliment does not mean they're going to fall all over you and start fawning all over you and all this kind of stuff. And I wasn't there, so I don't know how they responded, right? I don't know if they rolled their eyes. I don't know exactly what happened, but regardless of the way they responded, I mean, you being a man, you should know better, right? You should know better than to even engage, females on that level. Should have paid the compliment, whatever their response was, whatever it was. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, you should have bid them farewell and went on your way. But instead, you decided to quarrel and squabble with a bunch of women. That's very manly of you right there, buddy. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this this video, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit more.
No, weird. What's wrong with you? You don't want anybody to say anything complimenting. Why don't put it on? What's this? Wear a fucking bathrobe. Dumbass bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? Nigga, don't look at me like that. Respect your place. You guys are women. I put all these guys in my trunk, and everybody will look at your forensic files the next day. Get the fuck out of here. Have some respect for men. Get the fuck out of here. I'm giving you a compliment. You scared to take it. You think I care about, man? You think I care about this motherfucker? Stop playing. You don't talk about your own. Look, give me a compliment. You scared to take it. Stay right here. Everybody on the phone. Yo, you my brother. You my brother. You my brother. Get the fuck out of here. This is what you deal with in 2023. My grandma was better than these bitches. Better on the 75.
And all you men out here not saying shit and just letting him talk. It's crazy.
Say hello and say hi. They would act like I'm being disrespectful. But when I get out of pocket, now I'm the problem. It's weird. It's weird. When I go to something about news, it's like, oh well, that's why, because you see motherfuckers like you stupid. Like, all I did is be nice to you. That's how you act.
Now you saw this idiot. I mean, he went over there and starts talking all crazy to him and things. And you hear what he said, yeah, you didn't want anybody to pay you a compliment. You shouldn't have wore what you wore out. These men nowadays, I mean, I don't know. And he's not a young guy doing this kind of stuff either. I mean, he's an older guy, looks like to me. But these guys nowadays, I don't know if they're raised by single mothers, but they just don't have a lot of respect for women. I mean, this guy's straight bitch made. I mean, you look how he's acting. I mean, he really is pissed off at them. He's basically bucking up to them and trying to get them to basically run up on him so he can fight them. And I've seen this type of man like this before, right? I've seen this kind of man before. He's the kind of man that will, run up on a woman and talk crazy to them because, he has some kind of vendetta. But if a man rolled up on him, all of that energy that he has would completely dissipate, right? It would completely go away. He's fussing and going back and forth with them, or trying to go back and forth with them. They're just kind of sitting there, basically filming and looking all crazy in the camera. But I mean, you also heard him threaten the young ladies. He's like, well, I'll have you on the 6 o'clock news, and don't look at me, and respect men, and you're not like my grandmother. Well, obviously you're not like your grandfather, if your grandfather was any kind of honorable man that was back in those times, because an honorable man would not be arguing with women. I mean, you're arguing with women. I mean, the Bible speaks to that. It's like 1 Corinthians, I want to say it's the 16th chapter, around the 13th or 14th verse. It's like, watch, stand in your faith. quit you like men. Be strong. Now, what does that mean? Like quit you like men? It means act like a man. That's what you should be acting like. You should be acting like a man in this particular situation. You give your compliment, whatever they say or whatever goes on, you act like a man and you move on. You say, okay, they didn't respond like I wanted to, but hey, I didn't give the compliment necessarily for them. I just wanted to let them know they look nice tonight and went on about my business. But that's not what you decided to do, sir. You decided to act an ass out in front of people. And you can see that the people that you acted, basically an ass in front of, they're sitting up there watching you. And I'm thinking to myself, I wanted these people saying, like, thinking the same things that they normally think. Like, look at these people. Look how they act. Act like a bunch of caged animals. Like you can't let them out. They can't get along. I mean, I'm assuming it's a family event. I do see young people there. I see some kids walking by while you're doing your stupidity, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way that you're acting. But again, you are this kind of a guy. It looks like I said, you have all that feminine energy going on in you, boy. I mean, you're really ready to argue. And just think if these young ladies had a man. I mean, it actually possibly could have been a man with them. Could have been. I mean, men are at these festivals sometimes with a group of women, or maybe he's with his girl and his girl has, cousins or some other friends. He could have walked off to the concession, all these places, all these festivals and stuff like that have, concession stand, walked off and got a hot dog or something. I know if I'd have walked off, if I'm with a group of young ladies and I walk off and get a hot dog or some drinks for them, and I come back and you're at this, you acting a fool like this, I mean, I'm gonna walk over on you. I'm gonna get in the defensive stance, put the shit down, and say, hey, what's going on? By that time, I'm sure you're the kind of guy who would have walked off. He'd have walked off. But if you didn't walk off, I'd have slowly walked over to you and been like, look, this is happening one of three ways. The paramedics can carry you off, the police can tote you off, or you can walk off. It's all up to you, buddy. You got one of those three choices. And I tell you what, you can have the choice of D, all of the above. All of that can happen to you. So you need to go on your way, buddy. But like I said, he wouldn't have done that. But now I wanna talk about her real quickly. Did you see how she kind of acted? She's like, you men are sitting up here and none of y'all are defending us. Well, I mean, first of all, the men were probably minding their own business. They did look like they were looking, but nowadays, the way most people are taught, they're taught to mind your own business. Stay out of your business. You don't know what's going on. You don't know the background to any of the stuff going on. And so most men now are going to stay to themselves and find that they don't want anything to do with this nonsense of whatever's going on because they don't know what's going on. All they can see is a man going crazy and some women sitting there, right? They don't know if he came with you guys. They don't know what's going on. So for you to have this attitude about, why ain't some men stepping in? You didn't go out with any men. You went out with ladies. So why aren't you asking for the ladies to defend you? Well, you're not asking for the ladies to defend you because it's honorable for a man to walk up and defend you, right? But because your attitude, I can listen at your attitude on this particular video. You probably don't have a man. And the reason you don't have a man is because you have a little sassy attitude about you. But this video is not about necessarily you, but I want to put the women on blast on this too. Nowadays, you find it more important to record ignorance than to move away from ignorance. That was ignorant. Why would you want to sit there and record? And you're obviously trying to record where he doesn't see you, where you don't think a camera's there because you're probably thinking he's going to run up on you if he sees a camera. So you're kind of recording him and not showing him and you're recording him. The best thing to do from that situation would have been to walk away. Come on, ladies, let's go. Let's get away from this guy. He's obviously off his rocker. He's obviously stupid tonight. Maybe he's on some drugs. Maybe he's drunk. Let's just get away from him. But instead, this new viral generation, the only thing that you want to do instead of contact authorities, instead of get away from the situation, the only thing that you can think to do is to pull a camera out and record a fool being a fool so you can get some views and you can get some likes and some dings and some amens and some you go girl and why is he misogynistic and so on and so forth. So I'm not saying you ladies are at fault for this because he's definitely the idiot in this whole entire fiasco. But you ladies need to learn that instead of asking for some unknown man to come and save you, because in the society that we live in, this modern day society, they've told you women that you're just as strong, you're just as capable as men. Instead of worrying about that, the best thing to do would be for you and your single girlfriends to get up and leave that situation where it was. Let him be the fool that he is, but you get away from a fool. You see a fool, you flee a fool. That's how that works. Hey, what are your thoughts on it? I just want to say my thoughts on it. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and share.
Happy holidays. Merry New Year. Y'all have a great day. It's a great feeling to be back.
Ow!